Welcome back, everybody, to another deep dive. This time we're going to be talking about electric vehicles, and I'm really excited about this one because we're going way beyond just the basic transportation aspect of EVs.
Right.
And we're going to be looking at how electric vehicles could completely revolutionize the way we think about energy and the power grid.
Absolutely. And I think this will be a really fascinating deep dive.
I think so too.
Yeah.
We've got three fantastic sources that we're going to be taking a look at. We've got some videos from Keysight Automotive, Gear Talk Garage, and also Plug Charge. So
Yeah, a really great mix.
yeah, we're going to be covering a lot of really cool stuff. We're going to be talking about some pretty cutting-edge technology,
Yeah, definitely.
some amazing car models that you might not have even heard of, and uh, just like a really, I think, kind of mind-blowing look at what the future of energy could look like.
Yeah, I think it's really easy to get stuck in that mindset of just thinking about electric vehicles as just a way to get around. But as these sources really highlight, they're becoming a really central part of the bigger picture of how we actually power our lives.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like a light bulb moment when you realize that your car could actually become like a mini power station, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where this idea of vehicle-to-grid technology, or V2G, comes in.
Yeah, okay, B2G.
Yeah, and this is all about what's called bidirectional charging.
Okay.
So it means that your EV can not only take energy from the grid to charge up,
Right.
but it can also send energy back to the grid.
Wow, so it's like a two-way street.
Exactly.
It's not just like a one-way flow of electricity.
Yeah, so instead of your car just being a consumer of electricity, it can actually become a source of power,
Right.
for your home or maybe even for your entire neighborhood.
So like I could come home from work, plug in my EV, let it charge up overnight when electricity is maybe cheaper.
Right.
And then during the day when everybody's using a lot of power and the grid is kind of strained,
Yeah,
my car could actually be sending some of that energy back out to kind of balance things out.
absolutely. That's the idea. And this becomes even more important as we shift towards renewable energy sources like solar and wind, which aren't always, consistently generating power.
Right, they're intermittent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so having this ability to kind of store energy and release it when it's needed
Right.
becomes even more important.
And Gear Talk Garage actually highlighted some really cool car models that are already equipped with this V2G tech, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got models like the Nissan Leaf, which has been around for a while, the Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Kia EV6.
Right, I mean, these are all cars that you actually see on the road.
Yeah, these aren't like futuristic concept cars.
No, exactly.
These are cars that you could go out and buy today.
Yeah, and they're already capable of supporting the grid in this way, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, and it really shows that this technology is not just something that's, off in the future.
Right, it's happening now.
It's happening right now.
Yeah, and what really blew me away was the potential scale of this. I mean, one of the sources that we look at, they compared the energy capacity of 1 million EVs with V2G to like 5,500 wind turbines.
Wow. That's a lot of power.
That is a crazy amount of clean energy that's just sitting there waiting to be tapped into.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that really kind of illustrates the potential impact that VDG could have.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But obviously, like any new technology, there are some challenges that need to be addressed.
Of course. Yeah, we're still in the early stages, and there's definitely work to be done.
Right. So, what are some of the things that need to happen for V2G to really become more mainstream, do you think?
Well, I think one of the biggest things is infrastructure. We need to make sure that there are enough bidirectional chargers available.
So it's not enough to just have the regular EV chargers.
Right. We need these specialized chargers that can handle the two-way flow of energy.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then, of course, we also need clear regulations and standards.
Right. To make sure that everything integrates smoothly with the existing power grid.
So it's kind of like a collaboration between the policymakers, the energy providers, the car manufacturers.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of different players working together.
But I think for our listeners, the takeaway here is that we're at a really exciting point.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
With this technology, we're just starting to see the potential.
Yeah, and being aware of it now, puts you ahead of the curve.
Right.
You'll start to understand just how big of a change this could be.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's dig in a little bit deeper and talk about some of the specific car models that are leading the way in this V2G revolution.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so let's talk about some of these car models that are really showcasing what V2G can do, and Gear Talk Garage did a great job of highlighting some of these.
Yeah, and I was really impressed by the Nissan Leaf. It's been kind of a pioneer in the EV space for a while now.
It has, yeah.
But through a partnership with this company called Fermata Energy, they've actually enabled the Leaf to power homes during those peak demand periods,
Oh, yeah, it's incredible.
which is pretty amazing. I mean, it's like your car parked in your driveway essentially becomes like a backup generator.
Right. Talk about turning your car into an asset.
Right, exactly. And then you've got Hyundai and Kia really stepping up their game with the Ioniq 5 and the EV6.
Yeah, those are great cars.
And they've got this thing called vehicle-to-load capability.
Yeah, V2L.
V2L. So it's not just vehicle to grid, it's vehicle to load. So you can actually power appliances directly from your car.
Yeah, like imagine running your refrigerator or power tools or even like a camping setup all straight from your EV.
Right. Wow, that's some serious off-grid potential.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
But what about like the really futuristic stuff? You know, the cars that look like they're straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about like the Tesla Cybertruck
The Cybertruck
and
and
the Polestar 3.
the Polestar 3, yeah.
Those are really pushing the boundaries of what's possible with V2G.
Yeah, Gear Talk Garage made them sound incredible. I mean, what sets those cars apart?
Well, the Cybertruck, with its massive battery pack, it's not only going to offer V2L, but also vehicle to home, so V2H, and even vehicle to vehicle V2V.
So you're talking about potentially powering your home for like days in an emergency.
Yeah, potentially even days. It's incredible.
That is incredible. And what about the Polestar 3?
So the Polestar 3 is expected to have V2G capabilities by the middle of 2025.
Okay, so it's coming soon.
Yeah, it's on the horizon, and it's going to join this growing list of vehicles that can actually support the power grid.
It's like we're witnessing this whole new ecosystem of vehicles that can interact with the power grid in ways that we never even imagined before.
Yeah, it's a complete paradigm shift
It really is.
in how we think about transportation and energy.
So, but with any new technology, you know there are going to be challenges.
Of course, there are always challenges.
So what are some of the big hurdles that we need to clear to make V2G truly mainstream?
Well, one of the biggest challenges, like we touched on earlier, is the availability of those bidirectional chargers.
Right.
Right now, they're not as common as your typical EV charger.
So we need more of those.
We need more. We need more investment in that infrastructure.
Right. It's like building a network of highways. You need the on-ramps and the off-ramps.
Exactly. You need those connections.
Right.
And then the other big challenge is the regulatory side of things.
Okay.
You know, we need clear standards and guidelines.
Right. So it's not just the technology, it's also like the rules of the road.
Exactly. We need to make sure that everything is safe, reliable, and integrates seamlessly with the power grid.
So it really is a collaborative effort. It's not just about building the cars, it's about building the entire ecosystem.
Absolutely. It's going to take policymakers, energy providers, car manufacturers, and even consumers all working together.
And speaking of consumers, let's talk about what all of this means for the everyday driver. What are the practical implications of V2G?
Yeah, let's get into that because that's where things get really interesting.
All right, so let's shift gears a little bit and talk about what this V2G technology actually means for you, the listener.
Yeah.
We've talked about the big picture stuff like the impact on the grid, but let's get down to like the practical benefits.
Yeah, I think this is where things get really exciting because with V2G, your electric vehicle, it's not just a way to get around anymore. It becomes like a valuable asset that can actually contribute to a more resilient and sustainable energy future.
So it's not just about driving a cool electric car. It's about actually becoming like an active participant in the energy ecosystem.
Exactly. Yeah. You're not just a consumer anymore. You're actually part of the solution.
So what does that actually look like? If I decide to buy an EV with V2G capabilities, what are the actual benefits for me?
Well, one of the most tangible benefits is that you could potentially reduce your electricity bills.
Okay.
So imagine you charge your EV overnight when electricity rates are lower, and then during the day when demand is high and prices are higher, you sell some of that stored energy back to the grid.
So my car could actually help me make money.
Potentially.
Oh.
Yeah, you're basically turning your car into a mini power plant.
Well, that's pretty cool.
And beyond the financial incentives, you're also, contributing to a cleaner energy future.
Right.
You're reducing our reliance on fossil fuels. You're supporting the growth of renewables. It's a win-win.
It's like being an energy superhero just by plugging in your car.
Exactly.
But let's be realistic. Are there any downsides or potential drawbacks that we should be aware of?
Yeah, I mean, one concern that people often bring up is the impact on battery life.
Okay, that makes sense.
They worry that all this charging and discharging could wear down the battery faster.
Right, because the battery is like the heart of an EV.
Exactly. It's a crucial component, but, battery technology is constantly improving.
Yeah.
And manufacturers are very aware of these concerns, and they're working to make batteries more durable and longer lasting.
So it sounds like those concerns are being taken seriously.
Absolutely. And it's also worth remembering that even without V2G driving, an EV is already a huge step towards a cleaner environment.
Right, you're reducing emissions, cleaner air, all that good stuff.
Exactly. So the environmental benefits are undeniable.
Okay, so I'm pretty convinced VDG sounds like a game changer.
Mm.
What's the next step? If someone's listening to this and they're like, I want in, where do they start?
Well, before you run out and buy a V2G-enabled EV, there are a couple things to consider. First, make sure you live in an area where V2G is actually supported.
Okay, so do some research.
Yeah, check with your local utility provider, see if they have the infrastructure in place.
And then, of course, there's the cost factor.
Right. EVs with V2G capabilities tend to be more expensive upfront,
Right.
but there might be government incentives or tax breaks available.
So again, do your research.
Exactly. Weigh the pros and cons.
But even if you're not ready to buy a V2G-enabled EV right now, I think staying informed about this technology is so important.
Absolutely. The more we understand about the potential of V2G, the better equipped we'll be to make informed decisions about our energy future.
Well said. I think we've given our listeners a lot to think about today. It's amazing how electric vehicles have gone from just being a mode of transportation to potentially becoming like a key part of our transition to a cleaner, more sustainable energy future.
It really is a testament to how technology can surprise us, and provide solutions to these big challenges that we face.
So to wrap things up, what's the one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember from this deep dive?
I think the main takeaway is that we're on the verge of a major shift in the energy sector, and electric vehicles, especially those with V2G capabilities, they're at the forefront of this change.
And it's a change that could benefit everyone, really.
Absolutely. It's a win-win for consumers, for the planet. It's an exciting time to be alive.
Well said. So, on that note, we'll leave you with one final thought to ponder. Would you consider buying an EV with V2G capabilities, knowing it could help stabilize the grid, potentially lower your energy bills, and maybe even earn you some extra cash? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to hit that like button.